If you think I keep it real, this video right here that you are about to watch will be the realest, most transparent, honest, and heart-exposing videos that you've ever seen me do. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am excited to be here today to share some things with you that you might find rather interesting, specifically as it relates to what you think about me. Because here's the truth. Social media is only going to show you what anyone wants to show you. Very seldom are you going to get to see the dark side of a person or the part of a person that we want to hide from the public because we don't want anyone to know our weaknesses or the areas that we struggle or the fact that I'm no better and you're no worse. We are all the same in this game of life that we're trying to figure out every single day that we wake up. I've been sitting here mailing out my book, Magical Mornings, and I do lives. Maybe you've seen them before. Maybe I signed a book to you while I was doing a live and you ordered it right in front of your eyes and there was a transaction that happened here. I really love doing that, and I love answering the questions that I get as they come in. And I am always open to answering anything. If you've ever seen me before, you know that I don't care, and I'm going to give you the most honest answer possible. And I'll tell you if I don't know the answer. I don't care. You know something else I don't care about? Telling you that I struggle with anxiety, that I have panic attacks, that I have mild depression at times, that I am just like any other human on the planet. Because here's what I've come to learn and understand. Someone is an influencer. We tend to put these people on a pedestal and act as if their life is different than ours. While it is to a certain degree, it isn't at all. Because every single person that you will encounter has something that they might not be willing to tell you, like I'm willing to tell you my story right now. So when this person asked me the origin of this book and the origin of my other books, Where Your Mind Goes, You Go, the other book that I have, 10 Steps to Conquering Fear and Anxiety, they said, Clark, what is it that caused you to write those books? So I started to share the story that I'm going to share with you right now, and I'll keep it as fast as possible. 36,000 feet in the air on an airplane, thinking I was going to die, ready to get up out of my seat, walk to the door, pull that big lever open that we see closed all the time and that little strap that goes across. I was going to reverse that and jump out of the airplane. God's honest truth. And the truth is, I wasn't even in a place knowingly that I was struggling. There was a lot of surface things happening in my life that I wasn't necessarily addressing in regards to something that I'm always sharing with you about managing your stress. You know, my kids were growing up. My marriage was probably a little bit shaky at the time. Finances maybe weren't as good as I wanted them to be on a complete level. But I was just leaving a very successful appearance on Home Shopping Network. At the time, I had a machine called 3D Abs. And 3D Abs made me a lot of money. And I had just sold out on this appearance at Home Shopping Network. I was on my way, man. I was on my way to being, I guess, a Tony Little kind of person on there. They said, Clark, you just sold out. Do you realize what that means? You're going to get invited back again. We only invite back the people who can sell their product and have a connection with the audience. You seem to have all of this. Man, I was ready to turn a corner in my business. When on the trip home at 36,000 feet, I had what I now know was a panic attack. Didn't know what to do, man. Thankfully, I didn't jump out of the airplane, because if I did, I obviously wouldn't be here right now sharing this story with you. But I managed to get to the Atlanta airport. And while I was in Atlanta, I sat on the ground. And if you've ever been there, you've taken the tram or the train from one part of the airport to the next. I was almost frozen. I couldn't move. I sat on the ground and people passing by, some not even paying any attention to me. I was pretty obvious, not in a good place. I was crying. I called my wife on the phone and said, honey, I don't even know if I can get on the airplane. I'm not sure I can do this. And she talked me through it. She prayed for me. I managed my way on the airplane. That walk down the jetway was the longest, scariest walk ever, because you're going into a tube and you're going back into this place where you just had one of the most scary situations of your life. You're trapped way up above everybody else with no way out. Strangers all around you. And you're only left to your thoughts, which are leading you to believe that you're about to die, you're going to go crazy, you don't know what's next. You literally, if you've ever had one, you're shaking your head right now going, Clark, I really understand. Wow, I had no idea. Well, I want you to have an idea. I want you to understand. I want you to realize that there are so many more people on this planet who have experienced a similar thing to what you've experienced and what I've experienced, but have been ashamed or afraid to come out and speak of it. I'm not ashamed, I'm not afraid, I'm not embarrassed, and I really don't care what anybody thinks. I honestly don't. So when I got home, I was in a really good place. So I had conference calls and meetings and appearances, and they had already booked me to come back to Home Shopping Network for this next appearance. So I had to call my manager, and I explained to him what was going on, and I asked him, please don't share this with anybody, man. Please don't tell anybody what's going on with me. I'm Clark Bartram. I'm the confident guy. I'm the guy that gets on TV and sells stuff. I'm the guy that gets up in front of people and poses. I'm the guy that's made his living off of his body. I'm the guy that speaks in prisons and corporations, and I'm the guy, right? But what I had to tell him was, I didn't know if I could be the guy anymore. I didn't know if I could ever speak in front of a group or get on an airplane or do what I do for a living. Like, I lost my confidence. I didn't know what to do next. So he didn't keep it in confidence. He told this company that I was contracted with that Clark Bartram went crazy. Clark Bartram lost his mind. Clark Bartram is no longer able to do this. So they replaced me with somebody else. He didn't do as good as I did, and that deal disappeared. I never appeared on Home Shopping Network again because I had a panic attack and I didn't know what to do. So it was at that time I decided that I didn't want to do any drugs. Now, if you're on any sort of medication for your anxiety, I'm not saying that that's wrong. You do what you need to do. I'm not here suggesting anything. I'm only telling you my experience and what I did. I decided to dig in. So I ordered course after course. I looked at YouTube video after YouTube video. I talked to counselors. I can remember my first meeting with a counselor. I had a panic attack walking down the hallway, and the hallway seemed like it was 20 miles long. And the counselor's office was way at the end, and it was like a tunnel that just went into nothing. And step by step, I made my way down there, and I walked into this meeting with this guy named Charlie. And he made me feel at ease right away, and he let me know that I wasn't crazy, and I was okay, and I wasn't alone. There were several other people, many, as a matter of fact, in the world who suffered or experienced the same thing that I was going through right now. And he assured me that it was okay, that I would be fine, that we would just need to go through a process together of figuring out what it was that triggered that fight or flight response. And we needed to move from being afraid of it to learning from it. That's why the title of my book, 10 Steps to Conquer Fear and Anxiety, Go from Fight or Flight to Listen and Learn, is named the way it is. Because I realized that those moments that we have when we're in our darkest place, and I still have them, I'll tell you about one I had last night, are meant to teach us a lesson. My son calls them knowledge encounters. So I'm not going to get into some long dissertation about what to do, what not to do. I simply wanted to share with you the fact that I understand the feeling. I know what it's like. I've been there. And I referenced the fact that last night I woke up in the middle of the night. Sometimes I don't want to go to sleep because I don't want to wake up. And then tongue swelling, mind racing, convincing myself that I'm never going to come back from this, or I'm going to have a heart attack, or it's over for me. It's not over for me. It's not over for you. It's never over unless you lay down and let the power of it consume you. The other option is sit up in the face of it and say, okay, here I am. What am I meant to learn from this? And to answer that person's question, those moments are what created these opportunities for me to write these books. Where Your Mind Goes, You Go became a bestseller from that dark place in my life. You see, because I chose not to get on medication and I chose to go the educational route, I was filled up with this information. And then one day I heard in my spirit, when I listened to a woman by the name of Joyce Meyer on TV, she said, where the mind goes, the man follows. In my heart, in my spirit, in my soul, in my core, I heard, that's the title of your book. And I thought, I'm not writing a book. Clark Bartram write a book? I barely made it out of high school. That's the title of your book. So I was obedient to that. I got up, I started writing. And I'm a finger pecker. I'm not a typer. I never learned. But I did it. I took action. And all of that information that I had learned throughout the process, it poured out of me. And I didn't worry about crossing T's or dotting I's or making grammar properly. I knew somebody else could edit it for me later. Then I Googled best book designer and I got a design. Then I Googled best printer and I got a printer. Then I found myself watching a semi-truck pull up my driveway with 2,000 books, Where Your Mind Goes, You Go. And I decided, man, I got to sell these now. So I sold them out of the trunk of my car. Everywhere I went, I offered this information, and I found out very quickly that I wasn't the only one who had experienced this, that there were so many other people in the world who were ashamed or afraid or embarrassed to talk about the pain and the agony and the fear and the loneliness that is felt in those moments when you know for a fact that it's over with for you. But here's what I know for a fact: it's not. Here I am. And then I wrote other books after that. I wrote Magical Mornings because through that process, I decided that the morning time was a great time to really dig into myself and go through those things that cause triggers and come to an understanding of that was a part of my life, but it no longer serves me and I had to let it go. And there's a quote in this book right at the front, and I love it, by Rumi. It says, "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep." Magical Mornings is a great book. I'm not selling you a book. I'm simply telling you the answer to the question when I was shipping these out to people. And I wouldn't have not one of these books had I not experienced those dark moments in my life. So my encouragement to you is this: whatever struggle you're having right now in this moment, whatever fear you're facing, whatever dark night you've had, whatever thing you've convinced yourself is going to be the demise of you is not. It's an opportunity for you to learn and grow if you view it as such. But if you let it take control of you, it has that ability as well. So I'm not suggesting that this is not a real thing. It is, but it's not the end of your life. You're not alone. You're not crazy. You're fine. You're perfect the way you are. But lean into this moment. Lean into these opportunities. And the next time it creeps up on you, look it in the face and say, okay, here I am. What lesson is in it for me? And it might be a painful moment, but I promise you'll come out the other side if you listen with your heart. If you get on the balcony of your life and you observe and you try and get out of your emotions and you reflect back on it. So there's opportunity for you to grow in this moment of pain. So let this be an encouragement to you that you're not alone. Clark Bartram, the fitness guy, the guy on the magazine covers, the guy that seems so confident all the time, has had these in his life more times than he wants to imagine. And here I am talking about myself in the third party, but I don't think it's weird in this case because that's not who I am. That's what I've experienced. But who I am is this person here right now. So what I am telling you, you're okay. I'm okay. We will be okay. And you are awesome. Make it a great day.